Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another beautiful morning. Yes, sir. How you doing today? I would like to welcome everybody to Power Plays Palace, where we finna get this thing started. It is a beautiful Thursday, July 24th, and as we can see, let's get on the charts. As we can see, SPY is already moving good this morning. Let me zoom in a little closer. But I wanted y'all to see how this thing moving out. But look at that. All week we've been having strong moves up and it hadn't slowed down. So let's get right into it. We on the 1 hour chart. As you can see, SPY has already established a new pre-market high. So let's put that up here. Let's mark that line our pre-market high. White. Now let's set up this pre-market low here. All right. So that's our pre-market high, pre-market low. Let's zoom in a little closer to this chart here. And we can see that yesterday, the high of the day for yesterday, sitting right here. Let me move this up. 634.21. And we're going to make that line. Hold on. Get rid of that one. We're going to make that line yellow. As we do. And our pre-market low, ironically, is a high from a previous day. The previous day's high from another day. So it sits right here at 629.74. Alright, so as we can see, the SPY is already moving strong this morning. Since we intraday trade, we're going to bring this chart into the 5-minute chart. Let me reset my chart view real quick. And you can really see overnight, SPY has been hovering around the 634, 635 area, and which means that it's still in an uptrend. It's been an uptrend all week. So let's take a look at our chart from yesterday. All right. So on yesterday, these are the levels that we projected for yesterday. And what you can see is that if you played SPY moving up in the calls, then you should have had a pretty decent day. SPY moved all the way up to where it ended up the day at around 634. So as you can see earlier, we said on the pullback, then you should be jumping in the calls with your stop loss at the pre-market low. But what happened was the market pulled back a lot, really, right at the opening bell. It was up and then it pulled all the way back. But it started to pick up momentum. And let's see if the chart held true. As you can see, the chart, the market, it pulled back. Look at the trend line. I told you I use this thing, automatic trend lines, and you can see what it does. But look at it set this trend line and watch what the SPY did. It respected it there. It respected it there, and it shot up. And it kept going up. So let's look at our chart from yesterday. On our chart from yesterday, what did we say? Wait for a pullback into this zone. Pull back a little bit lower than this zone, 631. And set the stop loss at 630. And then you can ride it up to all these levels. So we hit every level yesterday on the SPY moving up in our calls. We did get a pullback, and so if you did play puts from the opening bell, you actually hit all those targets. But there was a small window here for you to do that. At the opening bell, it got the rejection off that established high we talked about yesterday on the video, and then it came back, retested the previous day's high from another day. That's what that orange line is. It retested, rejected, and it came down and tapped the previous day high from a previous day, which was the day before, which was from Tuesday. It tapped the previous day's high, and it bounced off, and it started to work its way back up. Once it broke through this resistance from here, as you can see, if you look at this chart right here, you can see it's a lot of liquidity that was right there. It grabbed that liquidity and it broke it, stayed up, and then it started to move up. And then we ended up all day for the rest of the day. So if you're looking at our chart from yesterday, you will see that we actually hit all levels on both sides. You would have had to get the puts in the beginning, but we still hit all levels on both sides. And you can see that on the chart here. When it went down, it broke that level that we put on that purple line, which was a key level pre-market high, which also was a new high. It came down, rejected, and then it bounced off the previous day's high, was probably for sure some liquidity, buying liquidity, and it started to push it back up. And then it bounced, and once it broke through these two resistance levels, it worked its way on up, and then it tapped every level. Like you can see, SPY tapped every level yesterday. So we had a great day yesterday. We touched every level on both sides. If you played it, good job, and let's get to the day. So that's yesterday's chart. So let's look at today's chart. Our current levels are going to determine how we play this. So what we have right now in the pre-market, SPY is moving pretty strong. So we currently sitting around 634.46 in that area. And so what we're going to do is, hold on a second. What we're going to do is we're going to look at these setups. And let's try to play off some key pivot points. So with the pre-market action being strong, the pre-market low is 633, and the high so far is 634.50 with the VWAP holding at 634. So that's going to be our intraday pivot zone. That means we already broke yesterday's high, which we just talked about, and it opened the door. So what we're looking at right now is SPY's in a strong uptrend. So let's just try not to fight it. So this is the way we're going to look at getting into it today for us. If SPY pulls back, close to the 633, 634 zone, then that's what we're going to look to try to get back in off of the pullback. Because one of the things you don't want to do, you don't want to be jumping in this stuff when it's at an all-time high, man. Because when you're doing that, that's high-risk gambling. That's what I call it. Because what ends up happening is you jumping in at its all-time high, you end up becoming the liquidity that we're talking about. As you can see right now, SPY is currently 816. SPY is at 634.69. So just like we're talking about on the chart, what we want to do, we want to wait for a small little pullback, see if we can get around in the 633, 680, 633.80 to 634 area with our stop loss at 633.50. And then we set our targets up to 634.21, which is the high from yesterday. And then if it breaks that, we're looking at 635 and 636 because those are psychological areas. And that's more like that's what you want to set your targets at when you establishing new highs, understanding that SPY is in the all-time high zone. So that's what you're going to get. You want to try to shoot for psychological target areas as your target price because that's going to be more profitable for you. And it's going to be where a lot of buyers and sellers are going to be making their decisions. Big banks, hedge funds, that's where they operate. That's where you want to operate. Now, if we see rejection at the 634.50, 635, you want to try to look for sales or puts if you're buying puts and at that point because you don't want to buy puts in a time right now where it haven't really established really in a the market currently is really in the middle of a trend. Is moving up, it's strong, and if you're gonna buy puts in this type of market, you need to wait until there's a strong rejection off of a key resistance area, and because we're in the all-time high area, you got to understand the most likely place for that to occur would be at a whole number 635, 636. As you can see, it already touched 635 in the pre-market. All right, and it rejected and pushed back. See how far it pushed back, then you get in. I just wouldn't recommend jumping in it right now. Like I said, this is not financial advice per se. This is how I view it. This is from us over here at Power Plays. If we playing it, this is what we try to do. But if that does happen, you want to target 634 as your first target price down, 633, 632. And those are whole numbers. We're in the high area, and those are your target areas. And if you want to consider scalping this thing, I probably wouldn't look for a scalp until it breaks above 635 and holds above that. And like I said, you want to target the next number, 636. If you want to be extra safe, 636.50 would be a good place to get out if you're getting in there. And if you want to do the short, I would wait until it really shows it's going to go down somewhere below 634, and then I would jump into 633. And that's based off the way we trade, and I trade off the 5-minute chart. So if you're going to be doing that, you want to try to set your chart to the 5-minute chart, and that's what you want to try to target. And you want to make sure you keep in mind those key zones, and then you want to play off of those things. Don't jump in and out of this stuff in the middle of a move. Wait till it get to a key area and jump in. I tell you, it's more profitable. It's easier for you to set your stop loss, and you'll have a better day. Now, I would like to thank you for taking the time to join us here at Power Plays. If you like what you see and if you enjoy the information, join us in our Discord at Power Plays and like this video, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. You have a good morning and good luck today.